Often, a lot of times, you speak to the newcomer, but I also wanted to speak to the person with time, that there is no shame in not having perfect sobriety or recovery, that we are just doing the best we can with what we have.
I've heard it through the grapevine.
Welcome. It's the AA Grapevine Half-Hour Variety Hour featuring the collected voices of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm Sam, an alcoholic in Palm Springs, California.
And I am Olis, an alcoholic in beautiful downtown Oakland, California.
Hey, Alice.
Hey, Sam.
It's so good to see you.
It's always good to see you.
Hey, I read something on a social media post recently in one of those private recovery groups.
Mm-hmm.
I want to read it to you and see what you think.
Let's hear it.
I hung out with some old friends recently, didn't drink, and here is what I noticed. It is a phenomenon, and it absolutely makes sense. Many relationships form and sustain themselves around alcohol because the substance becomes a shared ritual, a social glue, and a shortcut to intimacy. When drinking is the primary setting where people connect, the alcohol starts to feel like the foundation of the relationship rather than a supplement to it. It felt fake. And it was a lot of work on my part to keep up the momentum being sober because I just found it so silly or uninteresting. The jokes and the behavior for me sober just seemed absolutely ridiculous. Drunk or buzzed, being part of the crowd, I felt it was all fun. I'm not up for that anymore. I guess it is true. New playmates and new ground are a must for sober living.
You know, it's funny because it makes me think of a few different parts of the book Alcoholics Anonymous, right?
Yeah.
In working with others, it says, I can go to any sorted place as long as my motive is good, as long as I'm there to give and not get. And when I listened to you read it, I was like, what can you give in an environment where the people are not fully really present, right? I can't give anything.
Yeah.
But the other thing, which really hits me hard about this, is the very end of A Vision for You. Well, even the beginning of A Vision for You, it says, drinking for us was like conviviality and fun and companionship. And when we stop drinking, we lose that. And that's what this post is talking about. Like, I've lost this connection to people. But I love that she says it was fake. Like, it was not even real. And that when I'm present, then I got to work real hard to be with the drunk people. They're not fun anymore because I'm not getting my needs met. That's what I heard.
I so related to this post. The last thing, especially that you just said, of I just can't relate anymore.
Yeah.
Drinking let me be okay with inanity.
Inanity?
Inanity.
We have a SAT word, folks.
Oh.
Inanity, noun. 1. The quality or state of being inane, such as A. Vapid, pointless, or fatuous character, shallowness. B. Lack of substance, emptiness.
It let me be okay with superficiality. And it was one of those things that, I still have gone to a bar on occasion to hang out with some friends, but two things. I don't stay that long anymore anyway, but part of it's because carrying on a conversation there is really hard to do. And if I can't carry on a conversation with the folks around me, why am I there?
Why am I there? The paradox in Alcoholics Anonymous that this reminds me of is that often I'm in a drunk social group. I've got a bar I go to, I've got drunk people I do ridiculous stuff with, like, all of it. But I still feel alone. I'm still lonely, even though I'm with a group of people. And then I come into Alcoholics Anonymous and I think I'm giving up all of the fun I'm imagining I was having. And then I get into this experience where I see people in a meeting, even once a day for an hour, before or after an hour and a half. And what happens is then I get real, authentic connections and I don't feel alone, even though I'm spending less time with them. So I give up this crowd where I felt alone, and I get this series of relationships that are often shorter in duration, but I feel much more connected to them.
I love that what I have today is the ability to connect with people without having to check out to do it.
Yeah. And having to pretend I'm somebody I'm not.
Yeah.
Because when I'm laughing at those jokes that are not funny, I am pretending I am someone I am not.
Oh, and I'm trying to look good.
Saving my butt is now important than saving my face. I don't have to pretend I'm somebody I'm not. I've got to show up and be who I really am. And that's the thing that helps me get the thing I thought I had when I was drinking.
Put a period at the end of that one.
Period at the end. Exclamation. So here's what I want to do. If you are listening, if you're in the sound of our voice and you got sober listening to the podcast, if the podcast helped you get sober, helped you find your way to sobriety and recovery, please, please write us. Write podcast at aagrapevine.org or just call us 212-870-3418. We really, really want to hear from you. Who's our guest today, Sam?
Today, we'll be talking with Antonio Z from Los Angeles, California. And later, we'll have a letter with hashtag heard in the meeting post sent in from a listener. It might even be an email instead of a letter.
But first, the news.
The Trustees Literature Committee is seeking stories of personal recovery from all transgender, non-binary, genderqueer, two-spirit, and gender non-conforming members in the AA structure of the United States and Canada. Stories of recovery may include, but are not limited to, experience, strength, and hope.
Steps, traditions, and concepts.
Sponsorship and service.
Experience in AA meetings.
Safety and belonging through AA principles.
Sobriety and mental health.
Social and medical transitioning in sobriety.
Diversity of gender identity and expression.
Ethnic, cultural, and geographical backgrounds.
Diversity of social economic status.
Atheist agnostics.
Newcomer experiences.
Diverse abilities.
Young people in AA and or older alcoholics. Email submissions or questions to pamphletstories@aa.org.
Submissions are due by March 31, 2026.
Have you seen the Grapevine beginner's book, Getting and Staying Sober in AA? It's full of useful suggestions, insights, and solutions for newcomers. The beginner's book features stories by AA members about what helped them get sober and successfully navigate early sobriety. In this collection of AA Grapevine stories, AA members share insights and solutions to problems common to the newly sober. It provides solid tools of recovery. It's a perfect gift for sponsees and anyone new to AA. Beginner's Book, Getting and Staying Sober in AA, only $14.99 at aagrapevine.org.
Hi, everyone. My name is Antonio, and I am a grateful alcoholic. My sobriety date is May 24th of 2009, so that makes me 16 years sober. I have a sponsor. He has a sponsor, and I do sponsor people as well myself. And before we even start, I want to thank you both for asking me to be a part of this. It is very humbling, and it is an honor and a privilege. Really, really, truly humbling. Thank you.
Well, thank you for taking the time to sit down with us. Antonio, what was going on in 2009 that had you come to Alcoholics Anonymous?
I was tired, exhausted, broken, lonely, bankrupt. You know, alcohol worked for me for many, many, many years. It was that social lubricant that you guys were talking about earlier, you know. And I had many, many friends that were connected to drinking. And as a gay male back in the day, before there was apps and all this stuff, that was really the only place we could meet was at bars.
That's right.
Yes, it was.
You know, my first drink was at 14. My first social drink out in the gay bars was at 18 with a fake ID.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so my brain was still developing. I had all this power with no control. It was fun. It worked for a long time. And then alcohol stopped working. I couldn't drink enough for it to socially lubricate me the way I needed it to, or for it to help me cope with what was going on in my life.
Yeah.
And then around 2009 or a little before that, alcohol really started working against me.
What a great way to say it. Not that it doesn't work for me, it starts working against me.
Plus DUIs,
Legal problems.
huge problems. I was asked to leave many places, friends' houses, families' gatherings.
Yeah.
It was completely working against me. And this is why being here today is so humbling, because if you'd have called me in 2009, if this was happening today, where I'm given the opportunity to reach out to, I don't know, hundreds, possibly thousands of alcoholics in recovery, I would have said, you're crazy.
Right.
It's
You know, and
impossible for someone coming in to begin to grasp what their life can look like.
Yeah.
we all think we're going to get sober and get a car, get the home, get the boyfriend, get the
Cash and
girlfriend.
Cash and
prizes.
prizes. Yep.
Exactly. But you know what? It's life on life's terms. And yes, we get those things, but we also lose those things. I've had cars, I've lost cars. I've had relationships, I've lost relationships.
Yeah.
I've had a sponsor that I adored, became my best friend. He's gone. He passed away.
Yeah.
And so what I've learned now that the promises are is that I continue to be present for me,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
continue to live life learning is the operative word, continually learning to love myself.
Yeah. For people who are new and we keep talking about promises, and you're like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, where the clear-cut directions for the steps are outlined. Every step has a set of promises, and we often talk about the 9-step promises,
Mhm.
and they're just beautiful, right? And it
Right.
starts with the word if and it ends with if, right? If we're
Mhm.
painstaking, if we do the work, these amazing things are going to happen. Everything's available to us here, not just cash and prizes. You may get that, you may not get that. If you
Mhm.
keep drinking, it's probably going to get worse and worse.
Mhm.
Correct.
But what's true is we absolutely get the ability to be happy no matter what.
Exactly. You get to be a good son. You get to be a good daughter. You get to be a good husband or wife. You get to be a good father. You get to be a good mother. You get to be a good person.
A good person.
A good person. And it's not always perfect, right?
Hmm.
Because I've made a lot of mistakes in my recovery. I still do.
But that's a great part of this program is it tells me how to handle those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
I don't grow through getting it right. I go
No.
through mistakes. Like when I fall down and scrape my knee, when
Yeah.
I fall down and bust my head, that's how I learn. Now I embrace the opportunity that my mistakes invite me into.
Well, there's another thing that shows up for me around that way of acting differently in recovery, the ways I've grown.
Yeah.
And that is, there are mistakes that I make that
Mhm.
it's because I made a mistake. There are other times that I have made this mistake in some similar form many, many, many times
Yeah.
and caused myself and maybe others some pain or anguish. And I get better at pulling back and not making that mistake so badly, or I correct it sooner until I finally start catching myself before I make it.
That's my only goal when I wake up every morning is to be a better person than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Be
Yeah.
a better person than I was yesterday. And hopefully it happens.
Antonio, building on what Sam just said, do you have a thing that comes to mind where you can see today? Because it's hard for us to see the growth in
Mhm.
ourselves. But is there something you can point to? You're like, ooh, I'm so much more capable. I'm so much more skilled. I'm so much more ready and mature to deal with this than I was before.
I got to tell you what it was like before so I can tell you what it's like now,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
So I was sitting with my sponsor, my first sponsor, and we were, as a newcomer, I was still very used to that bar behavior of taking people's inventory.
Mhm.
Yep.
And somebody was sharing from the podium about stealing and all this stuff and being in jail. And on the ride home, the meeting after the meeting, I was giving my sponsor a ride and I said, well, Terry, I've never stolen from anybody. And he said, what about the peace of mind of your mother that you stole?
Mhm.
When you were out there drinking, she didn't know if you were dead, alive, or in prison.
Mhm.
Isn't that stealing something. And I thought, oh my God, right?
I'm a thief.
Yeah. And so today, I'm a better son.
Yeah.
I get to show up for my mother and take care of her. I don't do a lot of things right, but that's one of the things that I do know I do right, which is be a better son.
Dr. Bob talks about this when he talks about the wives of alcoholics, right? And I think
Right.
it's true that alcoholics get gifted, get blessed with people around us often, not
Yep.
100% of the time, but often, who love us despite, that love us no matter what it is that we
Right.
bring to the table. And the gift of recovery that we get to give back is that we grow and we change and we show up for them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we get to be a better person. You know, in that process, in 2009, I had in 2099, I had a niece that was born. That was another reason why I came in 2009. She saw me coming in and out, drunk, in and out of the house,
Mm-hmm.
because I was raising her like my own with my
Mm-hmm.
sister. One of the last drunks, she said to me, Uncle, why does your head always hurt when you come home? She
Mm-hmm.
would see me waking up with a headache, and I thought, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
she is learning that this
Mm-hmm.
is normal, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so I then, I'm going to try not to get emotional. I realized that telling my sister that I would step in as a father figure wasn't just words that I'd utter,
Hmm.
but that I'd actually have to show them in actions.
Mm-hmm.
So sobering up and being able to be there for my niece who is now 26,
Mm-hmm.
for prom, for graduation, for college. Sober is one of the biggest blessings in life because she gets to see a responsible man who doesn't need a crutch
Mm-hmm.
to be there for her.
My legacy is not going to be my name on buildings and things like that. My legacy is the lives I get to touch.
Right.
I may never even know I helped them, but
Yep.
Yep.
that's the legacy as a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, especially as a human who's just trying to do the right thing too.
Yeah.
Antonio, I want to ask you this. Like, you've got such a lovely perspective about recovery. What's
Thank you.
the nugget that you share with new people? Not necessarily sponsees, but like, what's the nugget that you share with people?
Your core thoughts are not real.
Oh, we just got deep here.
I love that.
Now explain what you mean.
I love it.
For so long, we hear you are a this, you are a that, you are here, you are there, that we start owning that and believing that that is our reality. You're not good enough, you're a drunk, you're not worthy, you're a whore, you're a mess, you're, this, you're that, that. It's beat into our brain
Yeah.
that we think that that is the reality. And let me tell you something, that is not reality. Those core thoughts meaning the very center of your brain, what you think is real is not real. You are worthy.
People asked AI for the top lessons from all of psychology.
Yeah,
And the number one thing they said was, your brain lies to you.
all the time.
And one of the ways it'll lie to me is telling me I can have a drink.
I can have,
Yeah,
nobody will know. My favorite, it'll be different.
brain is so sneaky, makes us think that we know everything. We don't know everything.
I know I don't know.
Not exactly, because the minute I start believing my brain that I think I know everything, guess what? I'm going to know myself right straight to a bar.
Antonio, this has been fun talking with you about all this. And we got to stop. Unfortunately, we can't go on and on because
You're the
people will
party
stop
pooper. You're the
listening.
party pooper.
Yeah, just call me Don. It's time for hashtag heard in a meeting. Cool things you've heard in a meeting. Alice, we got an email. This is from Aaron H. of California. It's a list titled AA Meeting Outtakes since 2008. Aaron is keeping a journal, it seems. All right, here's one of them. I'm going to carry myself to the grave with me.
Ooh.
Ooh, we just got deep again.
Yeah. This is the thing for people who are new and have not been, or people who've been around for a while and are not going to a lot of meetings. Man, you go to meetings and you hear things like that. I'm going to carry myself to the grave. And that could mean so many different things. That could
Mhm.
mean I'm going to drink myself to death. That could mean that no matter how long I'm around, when I'm gone, I'm going with me. It's just me.
For me, I mean, the visceral part of that is that who I am is what I'm carrying all along. And that's what goes when I go.
So whatever you do here is what you're going to have to carry with you for eternity.
I really appreciate Aaron in these AA outtakes since 2008. Here's another one. Quote, that made a lot of sense when I was 5, but I'm not 5 anymore. I love that.
Mhm.
Because I get here and I want to act like I'm 5. Well, I'm not getting my way and they didn't do what I think they should have done. And I'm going to take my marbles and go home. That's mine. I do that one. I'm going to take my marbles and I'm not 5 anymore.
See, that's what I was talking about. Core for me, it's being 5, 1970, blah, blah, something. Not socially accepted for being Latino. Was told by kindergarten teacher to change my name from Antonio to Tony because it sounded more Americanized, kindergarten. And also having learning disabilities, right? So when I was told I was stupid, that made a lot of sense to me at 5. I thought, oh yeah, I'm stupid. Fast forward, I get sober, I get to go to school again, I go to college, I get a pickup, and all of a sudden, I'm on the dean's list. And guess what? I'm not stupid. The core thought was a lie.
Would you let a 5-year-old decide how you're going to act today?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The last one we've got on this go round is don't should on yourself.
Right.
Otherwise said, should sucks.
When I am saying I could have done this or I should have done this or
I would have done this,
there is some value in looking back and seeing how I would behave differently now.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be beating myself up for how I did it. I should have.
There's this guy that I love as a speaker, Kurt Z, out of Redondo Beach. And Kurt opens his shares often by saying, thank God I'm no longer suffering from the things that are not happening, right? And that's what I think of with this because, oh, I should have done this or, oh, I should do that or I should. That's not happening right now. That's not happening. Why am I wasting my time on should?
Aaron, thank you so much for sending these to me. Excuse me, to us. No, you sent them to me.
Thank you, Aaron.
Antonio, thank you so much for joining us. It's been wonderful having you here.
Thank you so much to both of
Woo-hoo!
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
My name's Darlene. I'm an alcoholic from Ottawa, Canada. My sobriety date is December 12th, 1995. I subscribe to the Grapevine by supporting my home group because we get 3 copies a month. And the one thing I do love about it, I can take it anywhere I go. I do like a hard copy. If my phone runs out of battery, I know that I always have my Grapevine there. And it's something that I do like to share with sponsees. The identification with our literature is also in that Grapevine. And I like the fact that there's short stories, and there is one on my bedside table. It's a traveling companion, and it truly, truly is.
Folks, only $2.99 a month is the cost of a subscription to the Grapevine and the Grapevine app. And that gives you access to everything Grapevine. And the cool thing in the app, it'll read each month's articles to you so you can listen to them while you're on your daily drive.
While we provide this podcast at no charge, everywhere that podcasts are available, there we are. Please listen to us, join us. But the truth is we have expenses. If you love the podcast, support us with a subscription.
I'm at the very wit's end. December is the perfect month to take other people's inventories.
You get to decide who's been naughty or nice.
It's really not that funny. Thanks for joining us. The AA Grapevine Half Hour Variety Hour is posted every Monday and is produced by AA Grapevine, Inc. We don't speak for AA as a whole. We share the experience, strength, and hope of members to help others recover from alcoholism. All things Grapevine are available at aagrapevine.org, including our app and how to get in touch with us. Find us on Instagram and YouTube. If you want to know more about AA, visit aa.org or search online for Alcoholics Anonymous and your city.